Hey guys, welcome to 2026. I guess it's a little late to say Happy New Year, but Happy New Year. A couple of weeks ago I was asked to do a talk at the office just to kind of kick the year off, and I did a talk, and I had four points. I told a couple of people about it, and also some of the folks that were on the call that I did. It was a Zoom call, asked me to do a video of this. So I don't normally do these type of videos where we talk about, 4 steps to do this or 5 steps to do that. But I thought this content was at least interesting and useful. So I was asked to put this on video. So basically the talk is around how to make 2026 easier. Not necessarily better, but easier. Obviously easier would be better. For the most part, most of us know what to do. Client acquisition, negotiating, pricing, those kind of things. We already know what to do. The challenge is executing in a world that is full of overwhelm, distractions, and friction, and how to execute. So I'm going to give you 4 points to help you make 2026 run easier. And these are some of the points that we are definitely working on in our business plan, and I hope that they help you. So let's go. So step 1 is to eliminate the distractions. Okay, so in our industry, distractions don't look very dangerous. They basically look like emails and notifications and market headlines and fake news and social media and all kinds of things like that. And the key is not to get away from or eliminate distractions. The key is to not let distractions control your day. So here's the hard truth. Real work doesn't happen in 30-second increments. It takes some deep, protected time for strategic time, for client acquisition, for negotiating, for crucial conversations. Those all take time, and you just can't do it in just little tiny seconds. So you've got to protect your time. Your attention is your most valuable asset. Keep that in mind. So ask yourself, what distraction can I eliminate? What notification can I turn off? What can I do today to be less distracted? Because the principle here is that control your attention, control your outcomes. Step number 2 is procrastination. And by the way, I want to give some credit to Shane Parrish with the Knowledge Project. I got most of this content from a document that was sent to us from Remarkable, and took this, and there was such great content in here. I just took it and basically transitioned it into real estate or into being self-employed, some of these principles here. So step number 2 is procrastination. Okay, so I think Shane had it framed right when he said procrastination isn't just about being lazy. It's not a lazy or an avoidance behavior more than it is distance. Okay, so procrastination is when the gap between where you are and where you want to be is so large that you hesitate to tackle the project. And believe me, as someone that, because I'm a professional procrastinator. I mean, I'm such a good procrastinator that one time I was going to start a procrastination club. I just didn't get around to it. So I'm just kidding here. But the whole point is that when we start thinking, I want to do 50 transactions this year, it's just literally overwhelming. Or if we say, I'm going to make 100 phone calls today, it's just like paralyzing. If we say we need to fix our whole business, we're thinking, no, there's just no way. So we tend to put off. So the key here is to close the gap, is to close that gap. What I mean by closing the gap here, let me give you an example. Instead of looking at your whole business plan for the whole year and being overwhelmed by it, think about what's the next phone call I can make? What's the next appointment I can book? What's the next follow-up I can do? What's the next doable task to do and make it happen and do it? Momentum comes from making progress doable, having those little small steps that lead you to the next step, that lead you to the next step. So ask yourself, what next easy thing can I do, and do it. Start creating momentum. Number 3 is what's called first principles thinking. Okay, so stop copying and start thinking. First principles thinking is this: it's stripping down all that you're doing and figuring out what actually matters, what actually works. So instead of saying, this is how real estate's done, start really figuring out what actually creates value, what actually gets homes sold, what actually builds trust with clients, and then stop thinking about what everyone else is doing and get down to what really, really works. At our core, our business is conversations, is competency, is consistency. It's not all the other things. All those other things are support. We just do that to have conversations, in other words. Strip this down to the things that really, really work. See, what you want to realize is not every tool, not every platform, not every trend deserves your time. Every new strategy doesn't deserve your attention. If something doesn't help you get in front of people, have conversations, serve your clients, and close transactions, it's probably just noise, okay? Like that background noise we just heard. It's just noise. So first principle thinking gives you permission to simplify. In other words, do less better. Number 4, finding and eliminating bottlenecks. So here's a question that's literally changed my outlook for 2026 on productivity. Here it is. What's making things harder than it needs to be? What am I doing that are making things harder? What things could I do that will make things easier? So bottlenecks are choke points that cause friction in your production, okay? Things like a messy CRM, not having a clear follow-up system, let me think, unclear pricing conversations, maybe avoiding uncomfortable conversations or overcomplicated marketing. Those things cause friction. So you ask yourself, where am I getting stuck repeatedly? What drains my energy? What do I keep putting off? Just back to procrastination. So often fixing one bottleneck will free up a lot of other bottlenecks, a lot of other friction points. They can also cause more friction points as well. But freeing up a bottleneck can literally kick your business off for this year. I mean, literally kick it off. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to optimize what doesn't matter. We want to fix what is slowing us down in 2026. So let's sum it up, okay? Let's bring this to a close here. As we head into this year, I want to leave you with these 3 thoughts, okay? You don't need to become someone new. You don't need to overcomplicate or completely overhaul your business. And you don't need to do everything at once. So here's what we need to do for 2026. Protect your attention. Shrink the gap so you don't procrastinate. Think in first principles. What can I cut this down to? What is this? What really, really matters? And remove the bottlenecks. Remove the friction. Remove what I'm making harder. So success isn't about intensity. It's about clarity, consistency, and momentum. So if you'll do these things day after day, you won't just have a great year and you won't just be busier. You can get things done easier. We're looking forward to a great 2026, and we're wishing you all the best as well.